Hi, welcome to the Hailcast. So to start off with, what exactly is this even supposed to mean? Well, to begin with, obviously this is a podcast, and I'm going to try and do one every month, going over basically whatever is going on at the time, whether it be personal or public. It's going to be very lightly edited, only gonna take out, stupid pauses between saying things. Like that pause right there. But yeah, seriously, I'm gonna go over all kinds of different topics that I won't talk about in my normal videos on here, just for the people who care enough to hear. Topics can include, upcoming videos, other positive things like that. Maybe even like if I'm playing a GD level and I make good progress, but I don't want to just tell everybody about it yet and want to keep it private. I might talk about that on here, I don't know. But another big thing would be like personal issues, personal drama, things about my change, if you know what I mean, and things like that. So, to start off with, what kinds of videos do I have planned for the future? I'm gonna start positive. Well, at this current moment, I have a bit of a GD board games video planned to go up around Christmas time as a way to show ideas of different ways to change board games that already exist to be similar to Geometry Dash in one way or another, whether that be simply taking a deck of Uno cards and changing the pictures to be Geometry Dash images, or completely changing some concepts from original games and making them more interesting to an entirely new board game concept that I've seen similar things to it, but I've never seen quite this exact thing, and I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, that should be up by the time you're listening to this, but if not, then I was very lazy and it's coming eventually. Anyways, the next video following that, I plan to do a thing I recorded a couple months ago and never got around to editing, where I try singing GD songs very badly because I'm not a good singer, and also made to be funny. I've seen people like Gizbo who did God Complex, and that was honestly one of the better Geometry Dash videos ever. It's just really funny to listen to. Mine probably aren't that good, but stay tuned to hear those. It was a lot of fun. I also plan on making a video where I revisit some scrapped video ideas I had. I'm not going to go over them all here, but it's a pretty big list. Some of them are pretty cool. When that video comes up, you can see some of those ideas. I'll talk about why I didn't do them, or maybe even some of them I will do in the future. Another cool idea I had was building some levels such as Coarada and others like that using completely 1.0 objects. So how would that happen? For example, the first click is a green orb. Yeah, I would do something like a yellow orb inside of a yellow portal or something like that. And it would just be a very similar level while purposely being not the same, and it would be pretty interesting. I like the idea of 1.0 levels with cool gameplay, and a lot of more modern levels have pretty cool gameplay, but sometimes they're done bad. And my goal is to try and make 1.0 levels that are done well, with cool gameplay based off of more modern levels. Some other ideas I had was a challenge run of Super Mario Odyssey that I completed way back in September or something, and I recorded then. And I made a script. It took a while to make the script. I started editing it, and I lost motivation, and I just never got around to it. But honestly, considering I'm not a Super Mario Odyssey channel anyways, most of the people here probably wouldn't even care that much, so I didn't care too much either about making sure that was the first video I upload. So if I get around to editing it, I will. If it takes a year, which I hope it doesn't, but if it does, then so be it. Another idea was some kind of scripted video, kind of like a game review, going over why GD is the best use of $2 in the entire world. Because personally, I believe that while some people, even the ones who play the game, may get annoyed by the game at times, it has so much that you can do in it. And I've been playing the game on and off for 8 years or something at this point, and I've been playing consistently for the last 3 years or so. But there's so many reasons why Geometry Dash is possibly one of the best games ever, especially for its cost. And there's also a few other ideas. I have a huge spreadsheet of things. There's probably unironically like 50 video ideas on here, if not more, that I plan on doing at some point. I have them all planned out that I've come up with over the years that I just haven't got around to for one reason or another. One of the big reasons could be lack of motivation, which has been a thing I've been struggling with everything recently. I've had a lack of motivation to make videos, I've had a lack of motivation for schoolwork and other things at school, and even just like everyday life things haven't really hurt for me to do sometimes. Sometimes they get better, other times they get worse. Right now is kind of in between. We'll see how things are, a week and a half or whatever when this actually goes up. By the way, today is Wednesday, December 21st. I'm recording this early just to make sure I have the time. When you listen to this, it should be early January. I'm sure some of you already know the story behind this, but if you look at my main YouTube channel, the name is still Cops. It still has a honestly pretty masculine profile picture and things like that. The banner I just haven't gotten around to, and maybe I'll have gotten around to it by the time you listen to this, I don't know, but that even still says King of Petitions, which is my really old name. So why have I not changed things? Like, why am I not using a more fitting name, if you know what I mean, on my YouTube channel? The reason for that is simply I can't. There's been a lot of drama ever since August from me telling certain people that I live with about the way I am. They have been very, we'll say, secretive, I guess. They don't want me being open about it to some people. Okay, that's fine, I guess. I can live with it. But that's the reason why I can't change things. So I changed it to Cops way before that even happened, simply because I knew things would probably become problematic anyways. But drama has been going on. It's affected my mental state this entire time. Sometimes things are worse, other times things are less bad. Usually the only reason things get bad is when I'm minding my own business and then things get brought up and against my control. I usually don't try and bring them up. I usually try and just avoid talking about them at all. Sometimes they just bring it up in conversation and it's frustrating. There are definitely some changes I would make to my YouTube videos, even as simple as a different profile picture or different username. Things that I would do if I felt like I could, and didn't feel like I'd be blamed for causing problems simply for doing what I want to do. So I've just been playing it safe for now. But currently, what would I say my progress would be for my change? Honestly, not very much at all. The most I have is a couple of pink outfits and long hair. And obviously the fact that I have told a good number of people online, and that's about it. In terms of IRL progress, there's very little. I haven't told people except my family, and they aren't exactly the happiest about that. But I do have hopes for the future. Hopefully things will get, I'll say, safer, better, whatever the word may be. If I can actually be open, be myself, or get some things that I would like to get, like even just like skirts and things like that. Just make me happier and make me feel more like what I want to be, as opposed to what I got from a simple coin flip 17, almost 18 years ago, before I was even born. That completely decided my fate. That single coin flip is literally the worst thing that's ever happened to me, and I'm not exaggerating about that. I've had to live with it for a while. I never knew what my issue was this entire time. Now when I finally figure things out, connect a million dots together, I have people who say that I am not this way and that I'm just, in a phase or following a trend or not really what I believe myself to be, because they haven't noticed it, even though it's been clear to people that I live with for a long time that I'm not the most open about my problems. I can type stuff out, which I don't usually do around them anyways, but still, I can type stuff out, write stuff out, but saying words is really hard for me. It's hard for me to say anything unless I have to say it, so I usually try and avoid it. Obviously that would mean I wouldn't be open about my problems I have, because I wouldn't want to talk about them vocally. And speaking of talking about things vocally, there was this one issue at a store, I'll say 2 weeks ago. We were there, and this is a really stupid story, but I had things I needed to check the price of on a price scanner, as with my family. and there were people blocking the price scanner, pretty much doing stuff by the price scanner. So I was just going to, wait for them to be done. It wouldn't be very long, and it wasn't very long. By the time this whole scuffle ended, they were done. But regardless, I stood there, not going, and then they kept telling me to go anyways, and go tell them that you need to do it, and say excuse me and all that. I was already having a really bad day for a bunch of reasons at that point. At that point, I was overstressed, overwhelmed. I couldn't do anything. It got into a pretty big fight for literally no reason. I'm not saying I wasn't in the wrong there. I'm definitely not saying that it was entirely my fault. I just literally got paralyzed, like stage fright type of feeling. They always act like everything that happens involving me is my fault and that I need to change every single time, every single thing about it. And that's always fun to deal with, totally. But yeah, future episodes, I'll update you guys with progress on a variety of different things, whether it be simple videos or other projects I'm working on, or if I make some steps in the right direction for my change. Also, if big events happen, like some things might be coming up soon that I could talk about, and I'll also touch on those. This is basically just going to be a kind of fun thing I do every once in a while. Be more open about things, be pretty private, because that way I can just feel like I can be who I am. When anyone else is involved, except for the people I want to be involved, I always feel like I'm not who I am. And then people wonder why I don't show signs of being one way when I'm around them, despite always telling them that when I'm around them, I don't feel like I can be myself. I hope you guys tune in next month. I'm Haley, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.